afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, July 12th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a Time for Change call tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Before God, we are all equally wise and equally foolish. Einstein. Have you ever had to make a challenging decision and thought, is this the right path to take? Or perhaps you had a bigger question such as, who am I? And what am I supposed to do with my life? Many of us are caught up in believing that if we can make the right decisions, stay on the good path and off the bad path, we will be rewarded in some way. This may be true to some degree. Yet in the grand plan, our soul is on an infinite journey and is interested in something much bigger. Our souls are much more advanced than our mind is. It has a deeper knowing inside it that feels which decisions and paths will lead to more joy, bliss, and freedom, and which won't. There's a deeper experience of understanding the bigger picture of your life that is found within any small decision. Your soul, spirit, or higher self inherently knows that it is connected with an infinite divine being that is the source of all creation. Something much greater than anything found in this physical world. The advanced soul innately understands that discovering this connection is the real goal and ultimate decision to be made in this lifetime. Any other goal, decision, or question is merely a distraction. The fact that the media and society have been desperately trying to hypnotize you to believe otherwise only makes the real truth easier to be felt once it has been seen. You might remember as a child going to your favorite fast food restaurant with your parents, where you'd stand in line and you would always wonder what was going or what you were going to order when it was your turn. The moment you stood at the counter, your parents were there asking you what you wanted and knew that you had to decide something or was not going to eat anything for lunch that day. It's often these little decisions in life which contain this kind of deep hidden pressure and stress to make the right decision, or else we will not survive. Now I understand why it was hard to make any decision. Because sometimes your body will say it didn't want anything on their unhealthy menu. The misunderstanding inside us that says that this is right and that is wrong is simply conditioning handed down from our parents, friends, family, and societal consciousness. It is deeply embedded in our own thinking patterns. We all have this inner feeling of pressure inside to always do, say, and think the right things. This pressure has caused us to forget the real and important destination of our lives. This tension has created such a disconnection with our own bodies, that we don't know what we want and feel an absence of the real thing that we are truly hankering or yearning for inside. There are so many decisions and choices to be made every day that we forget the greatest and most obvious one, that is here and now. What we all are searching for is an unlimited, unending connection with a real feeling of universal love. The truth is that all moments in this life, good or bad, contain the possibility of finding this love within. The real goal of every soul is to live in this love, realizing that it is connected to this infinite spiritual source of love. What the mind has forgotten is that every situation, decision, right or wrong, has the potential to lead us into the self-realized and God-realized space. From this place, there is no worry, stress, or fear about doing the right or wrong thing. From this state of being, we cannot make a wrong decision. The mind is a funny thing in that it is always trying to find a better way of acquiring more things, making life better, getting somewhere in the future faster. It is deeply rooted in this need to be in control of our lives and create everything according to the way it thinks it should be. This neediness to be in control all the time is what is creating all the suffering in your life. Once we realize that it does not matter so much what we decide, do, or say, as much as how connected we feel inside. Years and even lifetimes of suffering will instantly and completely fade away. The only way to discover this place of freedom is to look deeper within. Go beyond the mind and our programming around what is right and wrong, and simply look at what is at the source of here and now. To go inside of oneself means to drop the outer world completely and discover that this universal love is abundantly within. This takes tremendous focus, courage, and determination to break free from the situations we believe are outside and inside of us. These experiences seem as if they are the ones creating your suffering, whereas the truth is that we are totally responsible and have the power to decide what we want to feel at any given time. Make the decision to let go of your entrenched struggle with right and wrong, and simply use your energy to consciously choose to access this unlimited source of love inside you every day. Once you decide to remain open and curious and find what ultimately brings peace to your body-mind in each new moment, you will discover that this infinite divine interconnection is already here now. This is the greatest and most fulfilling exploration you can undertake during your lifetime. Make a pledge for the next week of your life to let go of the right and wrong dilemma and focus instead on connecting with the divine inside you. Spend at least 10 minutes a day consciously diving more deeply within yourself than you have ever done before. set your worries of the outer world aside and open to the peace within your innermost being. Rest in this place and release yourself from any prison or tension that you have created in your mind. Then focus on being gentle, loving with yourself for the remainder of the day, each day. Say kind, loving words to yourself, like you would a small child. Simply relax and enjoy your amazing life. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies. Head to toe, inside and out. Through the breath. Easy and slowly in through the nose. Easy and slowly out through the mouth. This is the place that we should be at all the time, because the breath moves us into the now. And the now is all we have. We don't have tomorrow. We don't have yesterday. We have the now. And only 2% of us are in the now. 98% of us are out there. In order to master our ego mind, which is an illusion, mind's an illusion, created the ego, which is also an illusion, to help it master you. So when you decide to move into the now through the breath, you end the mind chatter. Each of us put out over 60,000 thoughts a day. Those aren't there. We've got tens of millions and billions of thoughts. They're more like programs that fly by like clouds in the sky, and they're not ours. Those are not there. And the reason that so many of us can't stay in the now is because the ego mind has convinced us we have to keep going, keep active, keep doing. And we create for ourselves a guilt that if we aren't doing something, then we're wasting time. That we got to be doing something or we're wasting time. And that's the ego mind. Staying in the now brings us into contact with the God within us, of which we are. You see, we're so preoccupied with the ego mind that we overlook that. And then we suffer. We suffer in the future or in the past. We don't suffer in the now. Where does worry, stress, and fear come from? The ego mind. That's where it comes from. And you ever notice that it's always there, that it's always producing more and more and more and more? When in the now, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to stress about. There's nothing to fear. Now, it's important that we maintain gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness with ourselves. And being of the highest high, the deepest, purest, eternal gratitude. There's always something that we can find to be grateful for, no matter what's going on around us. Now, we all float off, because when you're focused on the now, sometimes we float off, you're somewhere else. But the nice thing is that you have discovered that when that happens, all you've got to do is focus on your breath, and you'll be in the now. And that's all the time. That's every time you do that, it's 3,000% of the time, which is every time. Now, picture yourself standing in front of 3 paths. And we're all in the center path at the moment, the now. And we can see how the trees have formed a golden canopy over these paths. Leaves and the branches, bark, shimmering gold. And the path itself is a brilliant emerald green flaming grass. Appears to be grass. Now, the only difference in these three paths is that the one on the left, which is yesterday or the past, has been really used. The one on the right, tomorrow, future, has also been really used. The one that we're standing on, the now, looks almost brand new. And we know why that is, because the ego mind does not want us to be in the now, because it doesn't exist in the now. And yet this is the only way we can master the ego mind, by watching the ego mind and the subconscious mind. See, when you're mastered by the ego mind, and obviously the subconscious mind, the subconscious mind dictates events that it plays back to you. But when you're the master, you can tell it what to play back and when. Isn't that wild? But this is the only way to master them in the now. Relaxed in the now. Now, we all go into the past. It could be, you're sitting somewhere or you're driving, traveling, and something comes over you. It's reminiscent, and you kind of review a past experience. Usually we pick the ones that are good, happy. So we kind of relive them a little bit. We also visit the times that weren't so great and look at them from a perspective of saying, well, I did it this way that time. It didn't work. I wonder if I do it this way this time, it'll work. So, see, we all have a great whole. It's massive. And the subconscious mind stores everything in that great whole. Everything. Past lives, future lives, all of it. Now, we'll go in to that great hole on occasion. And we'll open the door, turn on the light. Now, when you walk into a room, a lot of times you don't realize it, but you flash your eyes to the ceiling and the walls. Well, in the Great Hall, you do that, but there's no walls or ceilings because the place is so vast. But you still will go and go to some drawers and some shelves and pick out some movies and some books and pictures of your past. And you'll go sit in an easy chair. There'll be like a white rectangle just floating in the air. And you'll watch some movies. And you'll look at some pictures and you'll read some books. And you'll have a good time. But you don't stay there. You will take everything, put it in its appropriate place, turn off the light, shut the door, move forward in life. And on occasion, you'll revisit. Some of us, however, will stay there so long, and it's unconsciously, that they end up bringing that past into a future that doesn't exist. They create that future from that past, and they relive that past and that future. This is why a lot of people will say, no matter what we do, we always seem to end up here. Now, we're all kind of prodded and picked and poked by the ego mind, because the ego mind does not, remember, it doesn't want you in the now. So it pushes you to go into the future, find out things. Got to find out things. And so you'll go into the future and you will seek out external authority. Someone that could tell you what's going to happen in your life. You know, what is it that's going to happen? You say you're trying to figure out a way that a lot of money coming, right? Because you've got card readers, you've got tea leaf readers, you've got palm readers, you've got astrologers, you've got numerologists, you've got clairvoyants, you have psychics, palm readers, pendulum readers, all kinds of sources. So you go in and you have a card reader and start shuffling cards and places cards on the table and starts to tell you, well, in about a week, you're going to come into a massive amount of money. And it's going to come from out of the clear blue. So there's usually three responses to this. First response is, not a big deal. You know, did it as a novelty, or did it just for giggles? It didn't believe in it, period. Second one takes it and embraces it heavy duty. Puts it in the calendar, is counting the hours, develops expectations and attachments to the outcome of receiving this money. Then the third one looks at it and has complete trust in themselves and the universe, and knows it'll manifest without a doubt. Doesn't really have any expectations or attachments to the outcome. And they might do some things like be more detail and give it to the universe. But all in all, it'll manifest for them. And it's interesting because all the answers to any question that we've ever had or ever will have in this lifetime, they're all within. So we have parts of ourselves, the gods that we are within these bodies. Now, there are parts of us, there's stone cold sleep. And then there are parts of us that are awake, consciously aware, which means that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, and purest of the purest, purest, eternal love. Now, the ones that are stone cold asleep, we deeply love them as much as we do the parts of us that are awake. They'll wake up in their own time. Now, we're all one. And this is an understanding that the mind has severe difficulties in comprehending. So that means that the Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Feline, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian, the gods within those bodies are no different than the gods within our bodies. And we're one. The fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, mermaid, dolphin, whale, Pegasus, unicorn, centaur, minotaur. Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. They inhabited physical form. The God that they are is part of the God that we are within these bodies. It's the same with all of our loved ones who have ascended out of this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. The God leaves the body. The God that leaves the body is part of the God that's in the body that we are. Again, there's no separation. So it doesn't matter what species, what civilization, where, this galaxy, another universe. It's all one. We will learn at some point in our existence, which is eternal, that we can be in more than one place at one time. We literally, since we are part of everything, and everything's a part of us, you'll learn how to do that. Now, when you look at this planet, right, and we as a collective consciousness, gods that we are in these bodies, we've decided to eliminate pure evil from the planet, which is lower dark matter, survival matter frequency. So, we flood it with pure, deep, eternal love. Highest of the highest high vibrational frequency. All life, the highest supreme value in the universes. And we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we are all one, we are all God, and we are all love. And our God force, love, light, energy isn't all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. Continues to intensify, grow, and strengthen. We immediately form a white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This emanates from the gods that we are within these bodies. And it's pure, deep, eternal love. Permeating, saturating, flooding. Infinity and beyond. And we begin to ascend above the planet. And as we do, we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It isn't like an ocean of glitter you would see on this planet. So we take what we've experienced here, and then we make a massive grand finale fireworks display, as well as a grand finale laser light show display. And a ballroom globe, where you shine light on it, and it floods the room. So we take all of them and we concentrate them, we intensify them many times. And we put them into one crescendo. And in one burst of light, perfectly clear and vivid and sparkling everywhere. That gives us a pretty darn good understanding of what the ocean of glitter is like. And we see all of these reflective points, which are everywhere, of course, the glitter. And we get close into them, and we discover these finely tiny little microscopic, perfectly etched mirrors. And so we enter them, and we discover that all of us, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, are teaching each other, learning from each other. Every physical form, every physical form. And some of the physical forms you'd look at and say, how can that be physical? Maybe you can't see it with those eyes. But, I mean, you could look at you see a bird flying over you. It has a message. A cat, a dog, a horse, a cow, a bumblebee. Doesn't matter. Always there is a message. Always has been. Someone might walk into your life for 20 seconds and change it because of something they said or did or how they looked or whatever it was, and you learned something. Now, those of us who are out there in the material physical world, seeking outside of ourselves, mostly will miss most of it. Those of us who are in and have decided to take the journey within, we will constantly be learning, experiencing all these different physical forms that pass by, enter our lives, fly by, no matter what it is. You remember when you were a kid and you would say, I want to be that. I want to be that. What's it like to be that? And when you look at things, right, and you want to know what it's like to be whatever it is you're looking at, you can do that by your breath and going into meditation and moving into the now. And for a brief moment, you'll know exactly what it's like to be whatever it is you want to know what it was like to be it. Now, we create the gods that we are. We create lights, flaming light, to remind us we have a little amnesia. And so we have Archangel Raphael. Raphael's carrying a omnipotently powerful emerald green, healing, flaming light. This is to remind us the gods that we are within these bodies have the power of healing these bodies. Then we have Archangel Michael. He's carrying violet, blue, purple flaming light. This reminds us, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we move to the white firelight. Now, this light emanates from the gods that we are within these bodies. It's pure, deep, eternal love. It's the highest of the highest high vibrational frequency. And it encases us in a white fire armor, which is impenetrable, and all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies cannot be near it or they'll vaporize, so they stay away. So we're protected 24/7. As long as we keep that vibrational frequency and deep, pure, eternal love. Now, we have the power, you have the power, that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, your hatred, anger, fear, greed, envy, revenge, worry, stress, fear, you're going to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, create a breach in your white fire armor, allowing all lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies come flooding in. then, you've got possibilities of demon possession and attachments and all kinds of things. Now, if you do decide to do this, we have fail-safes. So we treat this double column of light, the gods that we are within these bodies, and the first part of the column is a purple transmuting flame. This reminds us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame, transmute all of these lower dark matter, light matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness, where they are, no more. Then we have the second part of the column of light, the violet ray. This is a part of the column of light that reminds us we can bring in the violet ray, right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matters and vital matter frequencies were, feeling the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then we come in contact with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created, the gods that we are within these bodies, to remind us all that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We're the rain and the rainbows. We're the sunset and the sun rises. We're the clouds in the sky. We're the trees and the forests and the soils and the animals and the oceans and the rivers and the lakes and the streams. We're everything. Everything is us. So through the ego mind, you would look at a sunset and you would say, isn't that beautiful? Well, one part of that, beautiful, because yes, it is, because it's you, the God within that body. Through the heart mind, you look at something like a sunset, sunrise, or ocean front, and you say, that is the God that I am. Now, we continue to ascend above the planet. And some of us decide to step outside our physical form, if we're carrying physical form, and hover effortlessly above it. The reason we do this is because we can. And it's a lot of fun. Now, we come across a massive crystalline light tower. Now, the gods that we are within these bodies created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the tower, we discover this oblong sphere. Center of the sphere is a golden white ball of light. It, in turn, is surrounded by multiple rings of multicolored light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. All of this creates this super bright, white, misty kind of cloud that's sparkling and flashing and reflecting. And it's absorbed through our heart mind, which feels like a warm embrace that never ends. Now we discover that the golden white ball of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes gratitude, then well-being, then gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness. Bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, and massive abundance. Now, the gods that we are within these bodies design this tower at the top so the Golden Ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, infinity and beyond. What is the Golden Ocean? Pure, deep, eternal love, the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. And all of us are drops of this Golden Ocean. And we also hold the essence of this Golden Ocean. Golden Ocean is a drops of the Golden Ocean. And the only illusion is separation. Now we come across our meditative sphere. The gods that we are within these bodies created this sphere over 4 years ago. It houses moving towards 1,900 of our meditations in perpetual motion. These meditations continue, intensify, grow, and expand. Do you picture that? Focusing on this one planet, hundreds of millions of us on and off world, with the highest of the highest high intent. That's why this meditative sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. That's why it continues to intensify, grow, and expand. Now, if you looked, what are we doing, with this planet? Well, if you looked, and you do this through the heart mind, into meditation, and you focus on your breath, and you're a spectator. You're actually just watching. You're not judging. So you see what we, the gods in these bodies, have done, have created. And so when we look at this planet, you can picture yourself just floating on a cloud of golden, shimmering light. And you're watching as we created this kind of a sphere. Okay? And it's got all of this golden, white, pink light everywhere in the atmosphere. And this is pure, deep, eternal love. And you see all of this dark matter, goop, blackest of the blackest black. Souls that have taken in too much darkness, pure evil, lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. And it looks like, it appears that they're being vacuumed from the planet everywhere. And you see as they go through the field, they start to disintegrate. Now, if they do make it at a higher level, elevation, we've created a cloud cover. It's a golden, white, pink, super brilliant light, which is pure, deep, eternal love, the highest of the highest high. And any of it that gets to that point, there is a final flash, and there is no existence. They're gone permanently. That's what's happening. Now, this is a God planet. Okay? We got about 8 billion gods in physical form, but in the humanoid form. Then we got all the gods and all the other things. So it is a God planet. We're turning it into a paradise where lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies are not there. Period. Permanently gone. And you can do that anytime you want to see how things are going. The essence of eternal life is flowing within you now. Look. Where does it come from? If you dive just a bit deeper today, you'll be presented with something extraordinary. An essence that contains an infinity of magical possibilities. This is who you really are. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy, slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out of the mouth. Be still. Dive all the way in. Explore going down to the bottom of your deepest, darkest trench and muck inside. There, you will discover that which will lead you deeper to your core. Just for 5 minutes today, hang out with your dark stuff. Get to know it. It is a vibration. Being with the contracted parts of yourself assists you in knowing what it is you are to transcend. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night. The following morning, we return here Wednesday, July 13th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call, and 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our Time for Change call.